and there would be no negotiation. Joshua commanded his captains to place their feet on the necks of these monarchs, an ancient gesture symbolizing complete subjugation and ultimate victory. After the execution, the army returned to Gilgal. In a single lightning campaign, southern Canaan had been conquered. That day was etched into history as the day when the universe itself stopped to fight for his people. Yet victory in the south brought no peace. It awakened a greater beast. News of the Amorite king's defeat reached the ears of Jabin, king of Hazor, the most powerful metropolis in all of Canaan. When Jabin heard how Joshua had crushed the southern kings, he understood that waiting for the attack was signing his own death warrant. So he decided to strike first and sent messengers to every corner of the region, summoning a massive alliance that surpassed anything seen before. He gathered an army so immense it seemed like sand on the seashore, an uncountable multitude stretching as far as the eye could see, a human tide that congregated by the waters of Merom, ready to crush Israel. But it wasn't just the numbers that made their blood run cold, it was their technology. For the first time, Israel would face the most feared weapon of the ancient world, war chariots, hundreds of them, reinforced with iron and pulled by horses trained for battle. To give you an idea, back then, facing a war chariot on foot was like trying to fight a tank with a sword today. They were fast, unstoppable killing machines, designed to break ranks and crush bodies. Israel's army, made up of former slaves and desert wanderers, felt fear freeze their blood. How could they win against this military machine? At that moment of maximum tension, on the shores of the waters of Merom, the two armies met face to face. But then God spoke directly to Joshua, saying, "Don't be afraid of them, for by this time tomorrow I will hand all of them over to Israel, slain." Yet God gave him a very strange command about what to do with the spoils of war. "You shall burn their chariots with fire and hamstring their horses." What did hamstring mean? It meant cutting the tendons in the horses' legs so they would be lame and useless for war. This seems cruel or illogical, but there was an important reason behind it. Here lies the great strategic lesson. God didn't want Israel to adopt the enemy's weapons. He didn't want his people trusting in the speed of horses or the strength of iron, but for their faith to remain anchored in the one who alone guarantees victory. He wanted them to keep trusting in him alone. Joshua obeyed and launched his best strategy, surprise. He unleashed a lightning offensive at dawn, falling upon the coalition's camp by the waters of Merom, giving them no time to organize their war machines. The attack was so sudden and brutal that panic seized the enormous army. The great tactical advantage of the chariots became their worst nightmare. In the confusion and rough terrain, they became useless, blocking their own escape route. The massive alliance crumbled. Israel pursued them relentlessly, completely destroying the northern army. With the coalition shattered, Joshua marched straight to Hazor, the capital that had orchestrated the rebellion. He captured it, executed King Jabin, and burned the entire city to the ground. It was the only city in that region he destroyed by fire, as a sign that the head of the rebellion had been severed. The great northern metropolis burned to its foundations, becoming a pillar of smoke and a warning to all of Canaan. These great battles broke the organized military power of the land. But the conquest wasn't a single-day event. The war stretched on for several years until 31 kings were overthrown. The number 31 was no coincidence. It symbolized the impossible made possible.